And I think over time, it gets less. If there's anything you can do to help divert that energy into something positive, because I know you said that he's upset a lot. I would also just be kind of mindful of his actions. If he is someone, for example, that drinks, make sure that you are kind of monitoring that, just to be cautious, not to say that he's an alcoholic or anything, but just to be mindful, because grief, like I said, it can take over if you're not careful. And as his wife, you need to be making sure that he's grieving in a healthy way. Anger is natural. It's not always healthy, but it's natural. So just kind of be watchful and allow him to go through this process and grieve in his way. If he doesn't get it out, then, like I said, it's going to end up manifesting in other ways. And he noticed that, and he stopped that drink. Good. So he's a smart guy. You married him because because he's a smart guy. So allow him to go through this. Continue to pray for him. But don't insert yourself, don't try to fix him. Don't try to fix the problem. He has to go through. So I'll be praying for you guys too, because that's tough. And as a wife, you're sort of kind of like the odd man out, because you don't know what to say. When's a good time? It's hard. But continue to pray for him. We'll be praying for you. I'll be praying for you. He cries at night. Good. He needs to get it out. He needs to cry. He needs to cry. And I don't know, but he probably wants to do it alone. Probably wants to cry alone and, deal with it that way. That's fine. He's not hurting anyone, So just let him grieve in that way. Let him do that. All right. So he loves you uniquely is the other. Oh my gosh, my baby's crying. Is the fourth point. He loves you uniquely. So we as women, we have to know that the men in our lives, the husband in our life, will never be able to fully love us the way that we feel like we'll never feel like, he loves me so much and too much. We'll never feel that way. The only one that can love us to our capacity is God. So the only man is Jesus, So we have to understand that even though our husbands may not love us in the way that we feel they should, or don't love us to the point that we're just brimming, we have to understand that he loves us in the best way that he knows how. Oh, Johnny. But he loves us in the best way that he knows how. And we can help him to get better in showing us love. We can tell him how we want to be loved. But we have to understand that if we're looking for him to fill our love cup to the brim, we're looking in the wrong place. The only person that can do that, is God. Jesus is the only man that can fill our love cup to the brim. So the love that our husband gives us, as much as he tries to love us to the degree that he can, we have to realize and accept that he is doing his best. If there are things that we want him to do that will show us that he loves us, then we need to tell him. They don't read our minds. They can't read our minds. So we need to tell them the things that will help us to feel loved and be loved. Just like I shared with you before that it's super important that we show our husbands respect to make them feel loved. The same is true for us. We need to tell them how we want to be loved. Women are not all the same. We feel love, we receive love differently. So, just because, he shows you love by giving you gifts and you prefer him showing you love by helping around the house, doesn't mean he loves you less. Tell him that you feel loved when he helps you. And there's that book, the Love Languages book, which talks about all the different ways that we receive and feel loved. So, the 5 Love Languages is a good book. So make sure that you communicate with him to let him know what it is that you would like for him to do to make you feel loved and make you know that, he's doing his best. But don't dismiss the things that he does do, to be romantic, to be loving towards you. and don't feel like he's not trying. I think a lot of times we don't give our husbands enough credit, or whoever, enough credit for the small things that they do, their ways of showing they love us. For instance, if they put gas in the car, that's a way that they show us they love us. They want to make sure we get to where we're going without having to stop at some nasty gas station and fill up the, just little things like that. We should be more make ourselves more open to, and see all those little things that they do as ways that they're showing us that they love us. Fill up my tank anytime, but right, I do not like stopping at the gas station. You can ask my husband, the light is always red until he fills it up. So, but yeah, so it's just the little things. They don't know always how to show you that they love you. They don't. They just don't. And you can't blame them. We're different. We don't even know half the time. You guys, we don't. So give them credit for what they do. And carrying in the groceries. Yes, because if you leave it to me, I'm going to have all those groceries, 50,000 bags in both hands, one trip. Because I don't like taking more than one trip. Okay, from the car to the house. So yeah, taking in the groceries for you, taking the trash out to the curb, all those things are ways that they sometimes show you that they love you. Sometimes they're guys that do gifts. Sometimes they're guys that do write you letters, That's their way of showing that they love you. You may not receive that. That may not be your love language or what have you, but that's how they're trying. You got struggling with 10 bags. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care how many bags I have in my arms. I'm making one trip, okay? One. Don't let me come home with dinner ready. I'm serving it. This is PG. This is a PG conversation, LaShawn. No, but see, so your husband knows how to show you small things to show you that he loves you, and that's good. And you know what? In the beginning, you guys, in the beginning of marriage, early in marriage, he's going to make a lot of mistakes. He's going to make a lot of assumptions. He's going to think a lot of things will please you. A lot of things are his ways of showing love, but you have to teach him, and he has to teach you. It's a process. You learn each other, and then he realizes over time what it takes to make you happy. Some of us, it is gifts. Buy me a purse, and that makes me happy. That makes me feel like you love me. Others are different. So make sure he knows. Make sure he knows what it takes to let you feel, to make you feel loved. But I think it also goes to say, Ronnie, I can't with you talking about feed me. I know I feel the same way. It's a struggle. But yeah, so he loves you uniquely, and don't dismiss his efforts as his lack of trying. They try, they do, and you have to give. It's a give and take. You need to understand that he's not always going to get it right, and so just like you don't always get it right. We don't always get it right. We don't always know the ways to show our husbands that we love them, but we learn, we ask, we talk, we communicate and figure it out. So if we think that, if we enter into a marriage or any romantic relationship thinking that our spouse is going to be the person that make us feel so loved and just, full our love cup, fill our love cup to the top, that's not going to happen. So we need to be realistic. We need to understand that we're complex, and they will do the best that they can with what we tell them. And they married us because they love us, So when we guide our lives with that in mind, then it's easier for us to see the small things that they do. And yes, Disney is a lie. Disney lied to us. Yeah, it's not a fairy tale ending. Marriage isn't a fairy tale. So make sure, the little things that your husband does to try to show you that he loves you, even if it's trying to do your kid's hair or whatever, that's a way that they try to show you that they love you. Make sure that you acknowledge it. You know what I mean? When he does do the little things, bring the trash out to the curb, tell him, thank you, babe. Like, thanks. I didn't have to go put my hands on the nasty trash and bring it out to the curb. Thank you. You know, so acknowledge those things. We can't be so ready to dismiss stuff and say, why you couldn't wash the dishes, you know. Don't be so quick to attack. So we just want to be mindful that we are acknowledging the little things that they do, because they're trying. I want to make sure that I'm not missing anything else here, you guys. She don't do no, yeah. I'll do it if I have to, but you know. But he knew that from the beginning. Oh, the other thing, you guys. Okay, this isn't on my notes, but you kind of helped me to remember this one, Nick. Is don't switch things up. Okay, don't switch things up. If you are coming into the marriage cooking dinner 7 days a week, then you need to continue cooking dinner 7 days a week. Now, when you have kids, things get a little bit different, and you know everybody needs to pitch in. But if you started this marriage talking about, or if you even started dating talking about, when I get married, and my husband's gonna have a full 5-course meal every night, and doing all this, do it. Then do it. You know, continue to do it. Don't get married and then decide, I shouldn't have said that. You know, keep doing what you said you were doing from the beginning, or keep doing what you were doing from the beginning. You know what I mean? If you kept a tidy house in the beginning, continue to keep your house tidy. Your husband is going to expect you to continue those things. And when you stop, and the other thing is like, not only continuing to cook, not only continuing to keep the house tidy, but continue to try and keep yourself together. You know, men are so visual, super visual. It's just innate, you know, it's just their makeup. When they see a beautiful woman walking by, they're going to look. That's just their makeup. Don't take it personal. We like to take things personal. Don't take it personal, because for goodness sakes, we look, you know, when we see a beautiful woman or a nice looking gentleman, we look at them and, you know, we don't lust over them, but you know, you look. It's just natural. But keep yourself together as much as you can. I'm talking about keep yourself together. My hair is all over my head, but seriously, you want to make sure that we are keeping up with ourselves, just as we did when we were trying to get a man. You know, keep up with yourself now that you're married. Make him proud to take you out, you know. Dress yourself up, put some chapstick on or something, put some Vaseline on your ankles. You know, keep yourself together. You're not only doing that for yourself, for your husband, but you're doing it for yourself. You know, you don't want to walk by the mirror in the bathroom and be like, who is that? And, you know, keep yourself together. Because like I said, they're super visual, and they just can't help it. So back to the point, make sure that you are doing the things that you were doing before you were married, when you were dating. Make sure that you keep those things up. Like I know with kids, it gets harder. It's harder to find the time to do those things. It's harder to find time to work out, harder to find time to do all that. But make an effort, because he'll notice the effort too. He'll notice the effort. He'll notice that you're trying, and he'll notice when you're not. He'll notice when you just don't care. When you just flop yourself on the couch and just, you know, keep it pushing. He'll notice. And nobody wants to, you know, nobody likes to see somebody that doesn't care about themselves. It makes you wonder, like, gosh, is it that bad? You know, are things that bad that you can't even, you know, brush your hair back into a bun? Working out, I need to do that. LaShonda, don't even talk to me. Like, yeah. And I can't, like, it's like I stopped looking at my pictures from, like, you know, on Facebook, you sometimes see some of your older pictures and you're like, why did they tag me in that? I don't look like that anymore. And you're like, dang, I wish I kept myself together. I wish I continued to work out. But it's true. I mean, we need to keep doing those things that make us feel good. It's never too hard for some too bad for lip gloss. You guys, seriously, don't become a different person. He married Beyonce and came home to Stop. That's not right. That's not right, you guys. That's not right. Look, see, and you had me talking that out, reading your comment out loud. I'm going to stop reading your comments. So, You guys, that's pretty much it. I'm going off topic here, but thank you for your comments and thank you for sharing, because it's true. We need to remember.